In this video, we're going to be looking at editing existing page content and a related issue, translating existing page content. You have most likely been given a template website which contains a lot of sample content, both images and text, as we see here on the screen. And you'll either want to delete those pages or change them to incorporate your own content, both images and text. If you're in preview mode, as I am here, you have tabs up here at the upper left of the visible area of the page. And these allow you to edit the title and options, edit the page layout, or even delete the page. Another way to get to the editing capability is up here in the Wildfire menu on Work with Pages, and then the Overview screen. This shows you all of the pages on your website at a glance, and you have icons here, the little pencil icon, that allow you to get to the Layout Editor screen. The gear icon over to the left allows you to get to the title screen in order to edit those. So those are just some ways to get to where we want to go in this video. I'm going to do some editing on the home page of this template website. So I'll go to the Layout Editor screen for a start. There is a lot on these template pages that you'll want to change, or as I said earlier, even delete the whole page and replace it with new pages of your own. For today's illustration, I'm going to edit this text content block, and as you've seen in other videos, to do that you go to the pencil icon over here in the upper right corner of the content block, click on that and select Edit. The first thing I'll do is just delete what's in there to clear the box. And now I'm going to paste in some text that I've copied from another source. I'll use Control-Shift-V. And even though I've done that, I see that it is still retaining some of the formatting from the earlier text, particularly because one of those lines had a heading format on it. So I'm going to change this all to normal text. And then I would rather have it left justified than centered, and correct a couple of spelling errors, and then I think that's good, and I will come to the bottom and click Save. Now we see my new text here, and for the moment that's all I want to do on this page, so I will find the Save button and click that for the Layout Editor, and come back to the preview of the page, find that my new text is now inserted. Follow a similar process to change an image. Let's go back to the Layout Editor with the tab here and scroll down to find another image. Let's say that I want to change this one out. I will again use the pencil icon, click on that, and then select Edit. And now I have an image sidebar to work with. I want to change this image out, so I will delete the current image with the little X. It's gone, as you see in the Layout Editor to the left. I click on Add Media. It opens the Add or Select Media task box. I can use the upper portion of the working box to upload a new image from my computer if I desire. And I can look through the images that are currently on the website here in the lower section of the box. Note that at the very bottom you have an indicator that there are more images with a page number and a double-headed arrow. So you can scan through all of the images, and just for illustration I'll choose this bicycle image. I select with the little checkbox in the upper left, and then down at the bottom click on Insert Selected. In the sidebar I see my chosen image now appear, as well as in the Layout Editor over at the left. I go down to the bottom of the sidebar and click Save. I see now the full Layout Editor. My new image has been inserted. And again, for now I will simply save the page. And there it is. When you're working with a template website, you may want to completely delete a section or content block but retain other parts of the page. Let's look how to do that. We'll go back to editing our home page here and scroll down a bit, and let's say that I want to delete just these icons that are in this 3-column section. You'll notice that the icons are an image block. They have a pencil editing icon of their own, and then below them the text is in a separate content block, which is a text block. So this is very easy. If I want to get rid of these image icons, I click on the pencil for editing, and instead of edit I choose delete. A sidebar will ask me to confirm my decision. I click delete, scroll back down, and it's gone. You can do the same thing with these. Click on delete, confirm, and one more. Click on the pencil, click on delete, and in the sidebar, confirm. So that's very easy to get rid of content blocks. If I want to get rid of this whole section, I don't need a 3-column section on this part of my page. I go to the upper left of the section and I click on the X. A sidebar once again opens and asks me to confirm, and I click delete. And that whole section has been removed. Now if while I'm working in the layout editor screen I realize that I made a mistake, let's say I actually want a 3-column section there, I can just back out of my work by clicking up here on discard changes. Again, I am asked to confirm. Are you sure you want to get back out of the layout editor screen without saving? And if I confirm, then my page goes back to the way it was before I started working on it. This makes it very flexible to make changes, take a look at them, decide that you'd rather not have them, and go back to what was there before. The other thing I want to show you in this video is how to translate page content to another navigation language. To do that, we need to start at the overview screen, go up to the Wildfire menu, click on Work with Pages, and then click on Submenu Item Overview. Now I want to work on the home page on the same block of text that I worked on earlier, but now I want to change it to Spanish on the Spanish version of the page. So over here in the column titled Spanish, I click on the pencil icon to edit the Spanish page. You'll see a notice at the top here that you are editing the Spanish translation of this page. To add or remove content, edit the English translation of this page. This is a general principle in Wildfire that if you are creating pages or have pages already in the default language of the website, the language on the left column on your overview screen, that is where you edit layout in terms of adding sections and content. You can only translate text, whether it's in a text content block, text on an image, or captions under an image. So for any of those types of content block, you're only allowed to edit the text into the new language. You don't change the image or any other aspect of the layout. Let's go down to the text block that I was working with, and once again I'll open it for editing. And as before, I'm going to replace this entire block of text with the Spanish translation, which I've already copied in another place. So I will delete this and Control-Shift-V to insert the Spanish translation. That's it. Simply done for this step. Click Save at the bottom. I see on the layout editor screen I now have Spanish in this text content block, and I'll go back up and save the page. To verify, I look at the language selector buttons up here at the top right, and I see that Spanish is active, and I have a few other instances here of Spanish on the screen to verify that. And that shows me I am in fact on the Spanish version of this home page. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching.